When you hear the name Ryan Seacrest, your brain probably pulls up a highlight reel. American Idol, KIIS-FM, New Year's Rockin' Eve, Kardashian producer guy, and yes, Wheel of Fortune. Because apparently when he's conducting hosting gigs the way people used to connect BB babies. Ryan Seacrest is basically the 21st century Dick Clark. A host, a DJ, an executive producer, a man who appears on TV more than local anchors. But before the empire, before the countdowns and the red carpets, before the man became a walking, talking franchise, Ryan Seacrest starred on a syndicated educational show where he was trapped inside the computer. Let me say this again. Ryan Seacrest starred in a syndicated educational show where he was trapped inside the computer. Yes, this was real. No, you did not dream it. This is Reality Check, a show created so local stations could meet their FCC educational requirements and look like responsible adults. Today on Studio 3 Reports, we're diving into one of the strangest corners of 90s television, the forgotten series where Ryan Seacrest basically played Clippy with better hair. Let's rewind.
Jack Craft, age 19, 626 Elm Street, inventor, Project Reality Check. Disappeared June 8th. New residents, Samantha Bonner, Nicholas Bonner. Computer reactivated, September 17th.
Boy, am I glad you guys found me. I'm gonna need your help.
Understand Reality Check, you need to understand 1994. Clinton was president. The O.J. Simpson trial was basically the first reality show. UPN and the WB first launched and they were figuring out how to fill airtime without reruns of Martin, which came out in 1996, but that's besides the point. And Fox, well, Fox basically bought NFL rights and was feeling itself. Then came the New World affiliate flip, one of the biggest shakeups in TV history. News Corp drops $500 million in 1994 money on New World Communications. In return, New World flips nearly a dozen major ABC, CBS, and NBC affiliates to Fox. Detroit flipped. Cleveland flipped. Tampa flipped. Your childhood flipped. But here's the kicker. Fox Kids was not included. Not part of the deal. Not guaranteed to air. Not even in the fine print. So now, these stations have empty daytime slots, no cartoons, and a rapidly approaching FCC deadline that says you must air educational children's programming or else. This is how one shows get greenlit absolutely no one remembers. Enter Reality Check. Reality Check ran from 1994 through 1996. Executive produced by Ira Mishkin, distributed wherever stations needed to pretend that they care about children's education. The Chicago Tribune reported the plot like this. Ryan Seacrest plays Jack Kraft, a teenage computer genius who creates a top-secret VR system and gets trapped inside of it. And look, the 90s loved this trope. If you told this network executive to praise stuck in virtual reality, they greenlit you before you finish your pitch. See VR 5. The show's aesthetic? Imagine Windows 95 threw up on a green screen. Bright neon grids, floating polygons, graphics that looks like they were rendered on a TI-83 calculator having a bad day. This wasn't Reboot. This was Reboot if the budget was $12 and a coupon. Each week, the kids, the Bonners, helped Seacrest solve problems inside the VR world. Think Bill Nye, but if Bill Nye was trapped in Mario Paint. It was bizarre. It was clunky. It was honestly kind of endearing. But good? Let's talk about that. The mid-90s were obsessed with the internet, so much so that TV tried to explain it using graphics that barely counted as graphics. This was the era of the information superhighway, CD-ROM encyclopedias, VR goggles that looked like they weighed 10 pounds, schools bragging about one computer in the library, adults terrified that the kids will somehow hack the mainframe using Netscape. Reality Check is the perfect snapshot of that confusion. The show tried to teach kids how to safely navigate in the digital world, basic tech concepts, communication skills, and general life lessons, all while Ryan Seacrest floated on a green screen background like a human Windows screensaver. The irony? Most users don't even have dial-up yet.
Show him a thing or two.
What do you mean?
If I could just practice without Kyle in my face.
No problem, big guy. You can take care of that. Dev, add a little atmosphere.
Here's the honest truth. It aired against better shows. Check your local listings. Meanwhile, Reality Check was like, hey, we want to watch Ryan Seacrest teach you about responsible computer use? And children everywhere, including my family, said, no thank you, I'm watching Santa Bugito, or Reboot, or anything on TBN. Yes, TBN. This show never stood a chance. But here's the interesting part. Ryan Seacrest wasn't Ryan Seacrest yet. He wasn't the busiest man in Hollywood. He wasn't even the face of primetime. He was the guy that hosting so many shows that you had to. He wasn't the guy that hosted so many shows that you had to check the credits to see he was also directing traffic. He was a young actor and a DJ trying to break into the industry. And honestly, he did fine. And that's Reality Check, a show that wasn't great, wasn't famous, and honestly wasn't the best thing airing at 11:30 on a Saturday morning, but somehow became a stepping stone in the early career of one of the most recognizable figures in modern entertainment. It's a perfect reminder that TV history isn't made of the hits. It's built on the strange experiments, the low-budget EI filters, and the shows you remember only they aired between Reboot and lunch. I'm Yarnel Moïs, content creator and executive producer here at Studio 3. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive to one of the weirder chapters of 90s broadcasting. Now, I want to hear from you. What obscure, half-forgotten shows do you remember? The ones that you swear existed even if nobody in your family believes you. Drop them in the comments. Your pick might turn into a future Studio 3 report. If you enjoy this breakdown, feel free to share it to someone who channel surfed us like we did. Thanks for watching.